Hey guys, I'm Nathalia.
And I'm Audrey.
And you're listening to the Talk Baby to Me podcast,
where we discuss everything parenthood.
From under the covers
to becoming mothers.
We will guide you through every step of the way. And I mean every step, especially the things that you didn't get to read in those cookie cutter pregnancy books.
We'll have you laughing and crying and everything in between.
Because at the end of the day, that is what motherhood is. And the best part,
we got to do it together.
And now we get to do it with you. Hey guys, it's Nathalia.
And Audrey.
And today I'm so excited because I have one of my favorite people sitting here right now as a guest on our podcast. Her name is Giselle Mays. She's an entrepreneur, content creator, and most importantly, mother of one with one on the way.
If you can't tell.
If you can't tell.
Almost there.
Yeah. For those of you watching, she is very pregnant. 37
weeks.
37 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't even know how she made it here, so we are thankful.
I made it.
Thankfully, we have elevators in here. Because
imagine walking down the stairs.
Nope.
I go into labor.
There you go. Oh, that would be also pretty interesting. We just take all the mics on the run and take the podcast with her. How are you feeling right now?
Actually, I'm like, wait.
Okay, so let's get into it. We were actually really excited to talk about our weeks because we know how chaotic it is as moms. Like, what was a holiday weekend or weekday?
Yeah, holiday.
Right?
It was kind of
like in the middle of the week, randomly.
It was randomly a long time.
It was terrible.
Yeah. And some people are summer Fridays, so it was a long time.
It was a long time.
Yeah.
How was your weekend? Weekday?
My weekend was good. I mean, I had a very chill 4th of July, given the circumstances. But before that, actually, I had a little baby shower that Nat put together. And it was truly,
I saw the picture.
It was truly like the most special. Like, I'm going to cherish that forever, like for the rest of my life.
I just want everyone to know I do cry very often. So please don't make me cry.
And I don't cry. So you made it a mission to make me cry that day. And you succeeded.
Not intentionally, but I did make her cry. It was not intentional, but it was one of those moments where I was like telling her, because she doesn't ask people for anything. Like Giselle is like a go-getter, not a control freak, but semi. Just like type A, like I'm gonna get my stuff done.
So she's Nat, just she doesn't cry.
I was like, Nat, you're like that too.
Okay, fine, true. So, but I was like, hey, like let me just do something little. I kept bugging her about it until finally she's like, fine. And it worked out because...
And I had conditions because I'm like, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that, because you're also a mom of one full-time job, podcast. Like you
know how busy
you do it all. You literally, I don't know how you do it. I need to know on the side what you do because I just don't know how you do it.
No, but you do a lot. Like that, she does.
Yeah.
And I always am like, it's aspirational. I say this every fucking podcast.
Honestly, I love this.
But I will say it's really crazy because you just do what you got to do, right?
You just
and
do
the
what
things you want to do, like
you just
plan
make it
that.
happen. Yeah, so Nat, you make it happen, and with less than 2 weeks of planning, she planned like the best baby shower. So thank you.
To say,
that was my week.
I saw the videos and the pictures. They were cute.
It was really fun.
Beautiful.
It was super cool. All the games. Like honestly, baby showers are like, they could be really cute or they could be over the top. And I think because she said she wanted something intimate, it was almost like the perfect amount of
it was perfect.
Everything. And
quick little poll. Did you not want to do something big or too much because it's your second baby? Because I always wonder that. Because I want to have another one too, and I wonder about that.
No, so for me, most of my family is on the East Coast. So that was kind of difficult. Even when I was visiting Florida, it didn't make sense. Like when I went to go visit my family, I did, but it was like kind of too early to plan something. And then I didn't want my mom to feel pressured. And then on top of that, I wasn't going to fly back there like right now or whatever. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
So I think the stress of planning something just completely turned me off. And I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to have one. Yeah. And that would have been fine.
But did you have the first one? Did you have a big one?
No, because we were in COVID.
Oh. Just so you know.
So I never had one.
Just so you know, her baby was right before ours, like a couple months, 3 months or 4 months?
September, October birthday.
October
baby, her firstborn campion.
Yeah.
Was just a couple months before ours.
So you did, so
he's just a couple months older than Ella.
And I just made everyone come and I was like, I'm over COVID, which is terrible. I know, but like they got tested.
But it's fine. Yeah. I mean,
but that's why it was a big one. But in the planning, it was so stressful thinking about that. So I forgot.
I think if you had someone helping you, you also have the space to do it. I feel like because that's another stress factor where it's like.
And DJ's mom, who is always a factor on these
Janet.
podcasts as well. Janet, we love you.
Did she put?
She must have.
Yeah.
Some type of big event.
Yeah. So for the first one, I didn't have a baby shower. I had a virtual baby shower, which was interesting. And then now I had this one. So it's like precious.
Yay. I'm always here if you need me to have another baby shower for you. Or any event, really. I had so much fun doing it.
How was your week?
Oh my gosh, guys. My weeks have been very chaotic. We've had a lot of stuff going on. Firstly, we were robbed when we were at a wedding, me and DJ, my fiance, and it sucked. It was crazy. We were at a wedding and we got a call from a babysitter, my best friend, who was traumatized because we were robbed while the baby was asleep in the house at like 8.
While the baby was there.
The baby was asleep. My friend saw them and was like, there's a baby in the house, calling 911. And it sounds like I'm just kind of like skating over it. It's because we've been robbed way before. And it's not like I live in a place where it's not secure.
She lives in a beautiful area.
It's not secure. Everyone is fine. Everybody is fine.
Do you know if it was targeted?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think it's a ring in this valley that just keeps doing the same type of thing. They broke in the same way that they have before. RIP to all of my handbags, which is very sad to me. I'm not going to lie. Some sunglasses, but then they got scared off. So it's scary, but then you have a baby. Like before, I was so mad and felt so violated, and this time I'm like, you know what, my baby's fine. My friend is traumatized. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pay for your therapy. It's really bad. But then, so on top of this, that could take a long time to discuss.
Hold on, because I feel like you're so good. Audrey is the best at making sure she doesn't ever seem victimized, because this is something so huge, but she'll be like, it's okay. You know what? They probably needed it. It's all good. Like, my baby is fine. That's all that matters. And yes, I'm sad about my handbags.
They needed to pay rent.
But when she told me, I was sitting there like, I was more panicked than she was, because she's just so calm and collected about it. And she's like, you know what? It happened. It's fine. It wasn't directed at it. Like, she makes it seem like it's just all good. But I'm going to tell you right now, sis, it was not all good. And you're a strong mother effer. I don't like saying bad words, but I'm trying my hardest.
I say all the bad words all the time. We know this. Everyone knows this. Like, I cuss way too much on here. I need to stop. So I don't. But in the moment, just so you know, DJ feels all the other stuff that I don't show.
Did he step up? Like how was his reaction to it?
So we were at a wedding, which was like such a very fun wedding. You guys, I'm still mad that I missed it. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. You guys would be mad too, let me tell you. If I could,
I'm so sorry.
No, but really what the funniest part is, I'm like talking at the wedding. He just grabs my arm and he's like, we gotta go. We're going home right now. So my first reaction was like, did you split your pants?
Sorry, DJ.
I mean, immediately it was funny in the moment, but then as soon as he was like, no, someone's robbing the house, and like then everything was
of course
nuts. And then we were in a valet at a residence, so it took so long. I was just running around. I was like being probably so mean. Sorry, valets. Not mean to them, but just being like, you're such a, like, there's somebody literally in my house.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be running to catch an Uber. Like, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Camping just being, no, I can't.
But DJ is, he usually just kind of like shuts down in these kind of things and like doesn't talk. And I'm like a bulldog. Or I'm like, I just go into like survival mode.
Same.
Or like we're gonna fix it. Something's gonna happen.
I would have taken someone else's
literally
car.
was like, I know. My friend said, what would you have done? The friend that was there, what would you have done? And I was like, I probably would have went and murdered them. I don't know. I probably would be in jail right now. So because my baby's in the house.
Well, exactly. And now you understand, like, it's so strange because now that we have babies, I feel like I would do anything. Yeah, like, it doesn't matter. You would.
I told her, I said, you can't ask a mom that.
No,
you cannot, because it's honestly just very different. Like, it's just different.
And on that, being a mom and having one baby and you're ready to have another baby, one of our topics is birth stories and kind of like getting into, were you planning a specific type of birth? Were you thinking about home birthing? Were you like, what was your first birth? And then I want to compare your pregnancy from the first one to the second one. Just kind of jumping into like kind of understanding that process with the first and then.
Well, it's so interesting because I never really cared about listening to birth stories until I had a baby. And now I'm just like, give it to me. Like I want to hear every single birth story possible. I think for me, home birthing is so beautiful. Wasn't for me. Like that's not something I wanted. But I did want to have as natural a birth as possible. Like I was like, I'll just like go with the flow. Try to hold off to as many medication as I can at first. And similar to your story from the previous episode where you were talking about having these contractions, but it didn't have anything to do with dilating. I was having crazy contractions. I was past the 40 weeks. I was just kind of waiting just like half a week, like 40 and some change.
Right. Oh my goodness.
I know. And I was like there, like it was going to happen. Yeah. So I got to the hospital and they didn't want to accept me because, like when you're not dilating fast enough or whatever, they're just like, you have to go home. And I'm like, I can't. Like, I really need to stay here. And so
I really
I probably said it like that too, 'cause she's so calm.
But like, I am staying here.
So, they didn't want to let me stay. And then I called my doctor and she just happened to be there because she was like delivering another baby, whatever. She just happened to be at the hospital. I'm like, listen, I'm in so much pain. Like they also wanted to give me an epidural there, but I'm like, that's kind of a waste. Like I'm not even about to have the baby yet. Like I wanted to save it and hold off as long as I could.
Was it painful?
It was so painful.
Yeah, that's what
it was just so painful.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone's tolerance is different, but like this was, I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty high tolerance of pain, but this was on another level. Yeah.
And you're like past 40 weeks. You're probably feeling all the uncomfortability. Is that the word? About like just having that weight on your legs, on your hips, on your
I remember
back.
Like get out.
Walking and then like you have to stop and like you can't breathe. You can't talk. And then you got to keep going. Like I never knew.
When you got up here today, because this woman is 37 weeks pregnant, and she's like, I'm here. And I was like, oh, don't miss that. Take a breath every sentence. You don't even know. Well, just because you're like, I'm here, but you're like breathing, but it's just literally like steps, you guys. Like, it's crazy.
It's insane. But anyways, moving on. So like I said, I was determined to have this baby. I wanted to have the baby vaginally. And I was like, C-section, honestly, just like wasn't in my vocabulary. Yeah. I didn't even look it up. I didn't watch any videos. I didn't want to like scar myself or anything. I didn't even want to put it out there in the universe. So I didn't. Like I just didn't say the word. Right. And then after being in the hospital for over 2 days, so like we waited, and I was just like, we're just gonna wait until the baby comes out. And we waited and we waited and we waited. I did ultimately get an epidural. I don't regret it. It was
some relief to you for a minute.
Yeah, it did provide me relief, and then I was like laughing and stuff. It was great.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
It was great. But then after, and I really loved, so my doctor did advocate, like she helped me not rush into getting a C-section. So I feel like some of the nurses were like, let's get this baby out. And I'm like, no, like we're just going to wait until he's ready. And so we did that for a couple of days. But then once they broke my water, because, my water hadn't broken naturally. So like when they finally did that, that's when we were on crunch time. And so since I think I got to like 5, but I was like, okay, great. Like we're almost there. But then they had a look on their face like we're too, like it's just a risk.
It's getting to be too far.
So again, I wasn't listening to any of the nurses. I'm like, I don't care what you say. Like I need to hear from my doctor. Right. And then finally, like that 3rd day came and my doctor walked in the room and I just knew like she had such an amazing, calmness about her. Like she didn't make me feel nervous because the nurses is like they make you feel nervous.
I feel like they can be very, and they can also be very like not about you. It's about the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they're also seeing 5 other
a million
ladies.
other girls.
How long have they been there? Have they slept? Are they hungry? What are they doing?
Some are better than others.
One of my friends had a traveling one, so I'll tell you that story at some point. But like crazy.
No, some of them aren't angels. Like there were some that we really were blessed to have them there with us that day. And then some, like this one girl started putting the net on my hair. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Without even like talking about
without
it.
talking to me, like as if I'm about to go get a C-section. I'm like,
Interesting too, because we were talking about our doctors being there, and like that, my doctor when he walked in instantly calmed me too. But just because you have such a relationship,
yeah,
right?
exactly. And that's the whole point. So she instantly calmed me down. She explained the situation and she just gave me the options because at the end of the day, you still have the option.
What was the situation, if you don't mind?
No, I don't mind. Basically, we were cutting it close when it came to like, they already tried everything else. Like they broke my water. They tried to give me something to like, not Pitocin. So like Pitocin didn't work well for me. They did it for like a split second, but that didn't work because like the contraction part of it. It just like my cervix wasn't softening fast enough. And I don't know. I think after like the third day, my doctor was like, the pressure of the contractions on the baby's head could be a lot for him. And so there's just a risk that it could affect him. And so immediately I was like, all right, we're just gonna.
You do what the baby needs. At that point, you're like,
just get him out. And then I think at that point, I did, like, my heart was like beating so fast because it's like, I hope he's okay. Like,
I'm sorry, 3 days. This is 3 days in.
No, it was insane. It was insane.
And so then the doctor gave you options.
Yeah, she explained everything. And then, Darren and I looked at each other, we talked, and we're like, okay, we're ready. Like, we're ready to do it. And then, but once that happened and they did get the okay, then they were like, okay, let's go. Like, let's not make this like a super emergency, even though they technically called it an emergency C-section. She didn't want to wait so long where it's like, it was like dire. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So she was like, okay, you have the option now to do it where it's not going to be crunch time.
Yeah.
So do you want to decide on it now so it's a smoother process?
Yes. And that's what I did.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, my birth story. But I never, like, it's so strange because I could never talk about it before without crying. Yeah.
Look at you
It's
now.
such a weird-
I'm
it's
no
such a-
tears.
Super mom.
I have like two kind of big questions. When you go into a C-section, because I was the same as you. I was like, C-section is just not something.
Wait, did you do a C-section?
I did not. It was vaginally, but I just was the same.
Yeah.
But I always wonder, so is it the weirdest thing? Because you're up, right? When they're taking the baby out. When
You're
they're
awake.
Yeah. That's
You're awake.
So
Hold
like,
on.
You didn't know that?
they numb you. Yeah.
No, Nat, you can't be like
Under.
like you can't be under.
You can't.
No.
Holy
You have to be
moly.
awake. So that part is
Just weird.
weird.
That's why I was just I'm always wondering.
So they numb you below? Like,
Yeah. Well, I already, like, technically I had the epidural, so they just had to, like, up the epidural.
okay.
And they did give me something that just made me throw up.
Right.
It was terrible. But other than that, I mean, again, there was just so many things, like, going on in my mind because I just wasn't mentally prepared for it.
100%.
Yeah,
And
so-
being a person that is very detailed and very organized and very in the know of everything that you do,
Yeah.
I bet that could have caused a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
just like you had to really quick fire,
It's just-
like thinking
it's
about how
Not
to calm
only was
yourself
it
down.
my first baby,
Mhm.
but there's just, like, so many unknowns when it comes to birth because I've just never gone through it.
And then also, you were just like, I would not planning on a C-section.
No.
Not at all.
No,
So,
I intend, and it's tough because, like, I had an amazing nurse that day, and she, like, looked in my eyes and she's like, don't think that you're, like, any less of a mom. And I was just, like, boohoo crying because I was thinking that. Like, I was like, why can't my body do this? Like, I work out, I eat healthy, I did all the steps, I ate all the dates, and still.
Those
you're
dates.
like, excuse me, cervix. I ate all the dates for you.
Yeah, I told Sharon, I'm like, they look like cockroaches. I honestly
said,
don't
yeah,
like.
I told her
I don't
this.
like.
I told her this.
Dates
But I'm
are
eating
not.
them. I'm eating them
I said-
every day.
I was like, I hate Palm Springs because the first time I saw a date was in Palm Springs and it looked like a cockroach. Like, weird. I know that's weird, but that's what I said to her.
No, they're not delicious at all. They're not
Jaron
exactly.
loves them, so
I
he's
think they're
eating all
actually
my
very
dates.
good.
Oh,
They just
no,
look like
Jaron.
No, he's eating all my
Jaron
dates.
is her husband.
I don't. I like. I like them. I just don't want to look at them.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, I'll just like.
Yeah. But so then you're like, I did the work. What
Yeah, I thought I did all the work, and again, you're just not in control. Like,
which is why this podcast is here, people. Like,
I think
exactly why.
I love coming back to this. Like, we do talk about a lot of birth stories. Why? We talked about this in the first episode, because when you hear other people's stories, you learn different perspectives. This is the first time we're talking about a C-section, and it's so nice to hear that, like, there's other women. Oh, I know, I could feel it, that there are other women who have gone through this, who felt the same fear, same doubt, same thought process, same insecurities,
inferiority,
and also anger and all the things. And like, it's so good to know that as your friend, I know how powerful you are as a woman.
Thanks.
I know that you could do it. I know that maybe this is the baby that you do do it.
Yeah.
And things, now that you are more prepared, do you have a thought process or kind of a plan on baby number 2?
Yeah, so they call it a VBAC. I am going to try for a vaginal birth
What is it
again. VBAC.
VBAC.
Does that mean like after you've had a C-section?
So it's vaginal birth after cesarean.
Oh, VBAC. You learn something new every day. I love that there's a term for it.
There's a term for it.
Yeah.
There's an acronym. But anyways, I am going to try to do that. But honestly, if that doesn't work, I'm totally prepared for a C-section. There's nothing wrong even with an elective C-section. So like once a mom like does a C-section, they do ask you like, do you just want to do it again?
Right. I always heard that like,
and that's very common. Like, there's nothing uncommon about that. But this time around, my doctor was like, "Let's do a VBAC." I'm like, all right.
You're like,
I love that.
VBAC.
Oh my god, I want to get balloons, like the gold balloons that have VBAC in the room. I want to get that. I'm just so down to like be there. Like,
but then you have to be like VBAC and then C-section on the other side, right? Like,
I know, because what if it doesn't happen?
Then I'll have the C prepared.
V and a C.
A V and a C.
But,
I mean, I'm okay with either one, honestly. After having a C-section, I was just like, my baby's healthy.
Yeah, that's all.
And that's literally all that matters. All that matters.
100%.
What about your pregnancy in general? Was it similar? Were you less scared? Did your scar hurt? Oh,
yeah.
So I think after it happened, I was so determined to get out of the hospital since I had been there for so long that like I was getting up and the nurse was like, "You need to sit down." I'm like, "No, I need to get out." Like I pulled,
oh yeah, and that's the other thing. You had a C-section, so you can't get up. Like,
get up.
They make us get up to go to the bathroom.
No.
They didn't care. They put my ass in a wheelchair.
I was like, I can't walk. Are you kidding me?
No,
like,
and
my vagina's falling out. Like, it literally.
I'm so scared. Oh my god, wait. I'm not ready for that. Anyway,
yeah, you're fine. You get it.
Anyways,
oh my god.
I need to.
Don't scare her.
No. I'm not scared. But
Don't be
I do
scared.
need to find out.
It just is what it is.
I'm gonna tell you everything.
Whatever. You know what you get? You get an awesome baby. Like,
yeah.
That's what you
At the end of the day,
and
you always get a prize.
Yeah, and then in a week and like
Did
2
you
weeks.
tear?
Badly.
Oh.
Yes, badly. It's okay because you are you Latina?
I can't. No, she didn't.
I tell Nat
I'm
this all the
Latina.
time. That like I think the more melanin, this is actually a thing. The more melanin in your skin,
The more Latina.
yeah,
The more Latina, the more chances you have of not
like
ripping.
it's not a thing, but I honestly have read
Wait,
so many things about it, and that's not a medical term, but I swear I have read this in so many things. So
This is a serious question. Is there anything wrong with tearing? Because don't they just like stitch you back up?
they do.
Which is like good.
Yeah, it's good. It's painful.
Okay.
Peeing is painful. I think it's honestly more scary than it's painful, but I think because you're just like it's there and you're walking and stuff, it's almost like more scary because you think you're gonna tear something, but you're not. Like like when you're sitting down or you're doing something. And then
did you do the sits bath?
Yes, I did
Okay,
everything.
good.
I actually
I don't know what
tore
that
over
is.
my urethra, so it like was the worst.
What the
But
F? Audrey.
I know. Listen, but
Are you
I'm
okay?
telling you, I think because if you're like breastfeeding or taking care of a baby, like it just goes by
100%,
so quick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is something I wanted to ask you too, because so healing from a tear, you go automatically, you become mom. You're automatically mom. Like the moment you have that baby, doesn't matter what happened to you physically.
Or
you're
where it
mom
came from.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
You're mom the next day. You have to feed. You have to make sure that baby's alive. You have to keep that thing alive, make sure it's breathing, change the diapers, do the work. So while you were healing from your tears, you were still mom. Now, while you were healing from your incision, you were still mom. Was it difficult to take on the role as mother when you have the tear
I mean,
and incision?
yeah, it is. But I think kind of like what you were saying, that like you have no choice, like you were distracted. So I was determined to get out of the hospital. Like I didn't care. I lied to the nurse. I was like, I told her that I took a shower and I didn't. Because like they had like a checklist of like things I was supposed to do. And I had to take the, what do you call that? The catheter?
Yeah.
You took it yourself?
I mean, they helped me.
Well, I think maybe because you have to have it in more because you can't get up.
I can't
the
get up.
C-section.
Yes.
Right. I forgot about that.
So I had it longer.
That's why.
So I was determined to like get it out. I think they helped me. It's weird.
I'm going to be honest. I can't remember when they put that thing in me.
Do you remember
really
they
can't.
take it out?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I'm pretty sure I had a baby and it came out with it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine. But yeah, so there were like just a few steps that I had to go through in order to be cleared. And so I was just like, boom, boom, boom. Let me
And this
go.
is 4 days in. Like you had your baby 3 days. So it had to be 5 days at least, right? I'm saying 4 days because
I'm trying to remember because like I honestly, once the baby was out, once Campion was out, we were only there for like a day. Like I didn't stay there long, just because I had already been there for so long that I was like, I need.
Oh
to get
no,
out.
yeah, no. I first of all, I wanted to get out too, but then I also was not ready to go without the help. You know,
I was like, can we stay longer? Because
again, because your room was beautiful.
yeah, it was nice.
Mine was like a dungeon, and it was so depressing.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my gosh! Did you not tour the hospital before?
It was COVID, and it was like, and
ours was COVID too, but I like
it was
opted in
COVID
for the video,
but also it
but-
was just Cedar, so I just figured it'd be nice.
yeah.
I'm opting for the next room. I'm paying whatever to go to a different room because I'm pretty sure it caused depression.
No, the room. I did have a nice room. We were in Glendale, so like I loved the experience
I love
there.
Glendale there. I love
No,
it.
it's like I had to stint there.
Well, hold
Another
on.
episode.
Wait, what did I do? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, another episode.
Okay, so I want to talk about.
Hold
Okay,
on.
so wait. Yes.
Because we were talking about your second pregnancy. And then we
Yes.
went back to the first.
Right.
Yes.
The healing process. And then now.
The healing process / did your scar hurt?
Oh, okay. About the scars. So I feel like I had a really good attitude about having a like afterward, I made it up in my mind. I'm like, okay, it happened. Like it wasn't a part of my plan, but it happened. Baby's here, baby's healthy. So let's just be happy about that.
You had to get your mind right.
Yeah. But I can totally see how that can cause like crazy depression. I mean, that's why postpartum depression exists. And there's just so many things that goes on in your head. So I think personally, like I had a good experience afterward. Where it helped me heal quicker. And then before I knew it, like I was wearing my fajas, like my bands, and I would have like the tape, like there's like a tape that you put on top of it and stuff like that. And yeah, before you know it, it didn't hurt anymore. So like it was good.
Good. Okay.
As long as I wasn't doing anything strenuous.
And then now as your belly's stretching, does it?
It doesn't bother it, no.
I think these are just my questions I wonder.
No, yeah. It doesn't,
Yeah.
No, it's actually really interesting because I was like, I never knew what a C-section scar looked like until I had mine. They do such a great job now. Back in the day,
They were big.
They literally
were
look like
big.
you cut your stomach in half.
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So now they do a really good job doing it under the bikini line. Like you literally can't see it. So I was like, this isn't bad.
My friend, she actually has a location in Santa Monica where you can go and see your baby in like 3D. And she opted in for a C-section.
I know.
She's like, I just don't.
I know a
don't
lot
wanna
of
feel
people.
that.
I
just want to
actually
get it out.
She just chose it.
She chose.
I
to
know
do it.
so
There's a lot
many
of women who
people
do
that have
Yeah.
C-section.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Just like there's women that choose to have a home birth, and then there's women that choose to not, and
Or
then there's women who have
surrogates.
surrogates. There's any option is your option is perfect for
Yep.
you. Then it is the option that you should go for.
There's no option that's better than the other. So that
And
is-
your pregnancy now, like, is it different from Campion? Because Campion's boy, she's having. Everyone knows now.
it's a girl.
She's having a
I'm
girl.
having a girl.
Yay!
Oh yeah,
is
little
that?
boy then little girl.
Oh, it's like the most perfect thing, right?
yeah.
I'm
now it's
so
like-
excited.
He's gonna protect her too.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you carrying different? Was your cravings different?
You know what? It's so tough because with Campion, it was like COVID time. So I didn't get to hang out with my friends. I didn't get to be with my family. So it's like, it was lonely. So I think even though I was definitely more nervous for the first one. Lots of unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't want to be near anyone. You don't want
Which
to
is so
sick.
normal. It's your first.
Yeah. So it's like that on top of COVID.
Yeah.
So
Which, by the way, it's
Yeah.
we all know, like the most paranoid state the whole world's ever been in.
Yeah.
We've been alive a part of, you know?
And then on top of that, you're pregnant.
Yeah. So now with the second pregnancy, I'm way more exhausted because I have a toddler. But I also feel like he's kept me in shape. Like seriously, he's kept me in shape.
He's her workout routine.
And we have big boys. Like
They're big.
our boys
and
play, and
so
I'm like,
cute.
they're big compared to some other kids.
So Campion and
yeah.
Audrey have had play dates since they were teeny boppers, and now seeing them grow, they're both the same height and they're both about the same weight.
They wear. I mean, I buy Campion like 2T, 3T, 4T, like big boys. But
Edris doesn't even fit 2T anymore. He's 3T and up.
Yeah,
and
3T
he's
and
only
up.
19 months.
I was holding
20 months.
Edris's hand, and I was like, hand's as big as mine. Like,
and honestly, when I pick Edris up, like he's freaking solid.
Yeah,
and that's tiny, guys.
he's a firm
I don't know
baby.
how you do
I
it.
know, I don't either.
I don't either, you guys. It's like one of those things you just do.
You just do it.
You
You
mommy.
just do it.
And that's what's happening with you as you have
Yes,
another baby.
I just do it. So like as exhausted as I am, I wake up every morning. I mean, you know how it goes. It's
Yeah.
like the routine. You wake up,
Your
get
mom.
their food, you get everything. So
Change the diaper, pick him up, playtime.
I think this time around, like I'm just so happy to be with friends and family that part has made me happy, but I'm way more exhausted and I'm so ready to like have this baby out.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. 'Cause
Wait, let's
just, like,
play a game.
What?
When's your due date?
the 25th.
Okay.
What
So
day is it
let's
today?
see. We should play a game and guess the date and then come back to this episode later and
see
say
if it's-
we were right or wrong.
Okay.
What's your day?
22nd.
17th.
Ooh, girl.
I'm trying to make her come early. I'm trying to make her
Yeah.
come early. I'm giving you the
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I will take all that.
Okay.
yes.
Love it.
The other thing is, did you carry a high for one or low for the other, or was it just a wash?
So, what do they say? Boys are high, girls are low.
Mhm.
I feel like I was high for Campion, and then this one, I feel like she kicks more. I don't know, like.
Active baby girl.
Yeah, I think she's active, and sometimes Jaren's like, "You just forget, babe," because that's another thing. Like
right.
sometimes, like you just forget the.
Yeah.
Mom brain.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. So, but I do feel like she's way more active, and I do feel like more pain in my lower part.
Oh yeah, there was a few times in the third where I was like, Ella was so low that I was like,
Baby's gonna come
she's
out.
coming out.
It's happening. Oh my God, you guys, I can't stop this conversation because it's so good, but we do have to wrap it up. And I do want to say we learned so much. VBAC, we learned about your strength. We already knew she had the strength. We all knew that. But now it's like I look at you in a different light because I didn't know all those details. And so
And just like giving you a little more kudos, when I am chasing Ella around or doing anything that I have to do every day is so exhausting. I always, and I want another baby. I am always so, I tell my sisters all the time that have multiple kids, I'm like, it's incredulous that you can chase a toddler around, be that pregnant.
Yes.
And you just do it. Like you just gain a different superpower, I guess, to be able to
you
do
do.
it.
And
That's
I'm
great.
fortunate to be able to do that because I know some women like really can't, whether they have special things like they have to be bedridden or whatever. Like there's so many things that can go wrong. So I'm like, well, not go wrong, but like
Yeah, anything
that can limit you.
preeclampsia, like
Yeah,
any of those.
That's what I'm
types
saying.
of
So like
things.
I never experienced that, and I just like try to remember that where I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this.
You can do
Mom
this.
grace is the best though, because once people become moms, it, like you understand more. So then when you do see a bedridden mom or something like that where they don't get to experience, you just have so much more.
appreciation or
Yeah.
grace for that. Yeah. It's crazy. You guys are so strong. All of us were just like, go
You're
team,
so
go. Aw,
No
well,
ripping, no ripping.
we're gonna have to
tearing.
come back. We're gonna have Giselle back, and we're gonna talk about the afterbirth when she
after-
has
oh
her
my
baby
God.
girl.
100%.
To find out
We're gonna see if
how
it's
it-
a
how she comes
VBAC
out.
or a C.
C-section. Either way are gonna be perfect, but
Yeah, no.
we're
Either one
excited
is
to
going to be
hear.
great.
Well, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you for
today,
having
Giselle.
me.
We always have a little like wrap up. You guys follow us.
On
All the things.
Talk baby to me PC on Insta.
And Giselle's Instagram. Giselle Mays, easy peasy.
So then you guys can also see if she has a VBAC or a C.
And then also the Mays tribe. Her family has the cutest little Instagram, and it's all
They're
goals.
literally beautiful. Look.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you so much.
Book them.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.